Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So this video might seem a little bit bizarre to some people, but in my opinion it's very much necessary, it's very much needed, because in my last series, like my life story series, I got a lot of positive comments. I got a lot of, genuine love and kindness. So I'm fully aware that the subscribers that I have attracted to my channel are genuinely kind-hearted people. And I don't take kind-hearted people for granted at all, because I've met so many people in my life who are very hateful and who are very abusive. When I meet a kind-hearted person, I don't take them for granted. I appreciate them, and I, do my best to maintain a relationship with them. So for that reason, I feel like this video is necessary for me to be extremely transparent, because I want to continue to build a healthy relationship with my subscribers. Whenever I go into a new connection, I like for both myself and the other person to be 100% transparent, because I feel like if you are not transparent, then I'm becoming attached to you under false pretenses, which I don't like. And I've had that happen to me numerous times in the past, where I become attached to someone and then I find out something about them from someone else. And I'm just like, wow, if I would have known this, I would have never gotten with you in the first place. And it makes you feel very bamboozled, and it makes you feel, it just doesn't feel good, and it's damn near impossible after that to rebuild the trust. So I always like to give people any type of heads up, like, when they want to connect with me. Like if I'm dating someone and maybe I've dated their friend in the past, or well, not their friend, but like an acquaintance of theirs in the past, I'll let it be known, like, hey, just so you know, I used to date so-and-so, so I want you to hear it from me instead of from this person, and then you can decide from there if you want to continue to date me. Like just laying it all out and giving people options. So that's what I'm doing here. There are a couple of things that people have been concerned about, or that people have addressed me about, that I feel like I need to unpack and undress on here, especially to my new subscribers, because I want you to hear everything directly from my mouth, so that you're not ever blindsided, like, oh wow, I trusted this person, I had one image of them, and then they turn out to be someone completely different. So that's what this video is going to be about, me laying it out on the table. And I want to make it very clear that this video is not a result of me being called out on anything, because I haven't been. I actually deleted or deactivated my social media because I needed a break from it. So I deactivated it yesterday. So this is not a result of like, okay, someone gets called out on their bullshit and everybody hates them, so now they're going to go and try to justify, and they're going to go and try to explain themselves. No, I feel like that's not always needed or necessary. Like, you don't always have to have a group of people call you out or hold you accountable for anything. You should be able to kind of self-reflect and come to those conclusions on your own. And if you feel like you were wrong, you need to make it right. Regardless of who's calling you out or not calling you out, the minute you feel like you were wrong, make it right. Well, what triggered this, first of all, is that a couple of days ago, I saw a video that was very, very disturbing. And when I scrolled through the comment section, I saw someone from my past who I used to care about laughing at the video, and I was very much taken aback, and I was shocked, because this person presented themselves to be a very kind-hearted, loving person, and the video was so cruel. I was like, wow, so you are not who you said that you were. And that hurt me. Even though he's from my past, it hurt me to remember like the fact that he was presenting himself one way and then he turned out to be another way. So that's what actually triggered me to make this video. The feeling that gave me is the feeling that I may have given other people in the past, because of the way that I am in terms of my defense mechanism. So as I'll just jump right into the story. So in June of 2018, there was a rapper by the name of XXXTentacion that was murdered. And I did not know much about him, didn't listen to his music. He was in a lower age group than I am. He was like, was he like 20, 21? And if you know what mumble rappers are, they're kind of always in that age group. I have nothing against them, but I just assumed that he was one of them. And I never really listened to him for that reason. And when he died, that's when I first looked up his music, and that's when I first looked up, the lyrics to his songs and his tattoos and stuff like that, because a couple of people on my timeline were talking about him being an Aquarius and his death being a shift when it comes to the age of Aquarius. And so I was highly confused as to how his death could play a role in anything, because like I said, I kind of just threw him in the same category as, certain types of rappers. And so I was very shocked to find that, you know, he was very spiritually advanced when it comes to his lyrics, or when it comes to his interviews, his tattoos. Like, there's certain things that like I really didn't expect him to know, because a lot of people don't know certain things, especially people his age. And so I was really taken aback. And then immediately I got on Twitter and was kind of like, holy shit, this man is like brilliant. You know, his soul is very spiritually advanced. Like, I would have never guessed that. And all hell broke loose. Now, before I continue on with the story, I want to make it very clear that I'm not making any excuses at all. I am letting you into my mind frame, my mindset during the time, because I feel like if someone is going to change their behavior, they first have to know why they did what they did. They have to know what the trigger was. They have to know where they were wrong and what they're going to do in the future to avoid it happening again. And if somebody can't tell you all that, then they're probably going to do it again. So I'm not making excuses. I just want to make it very clear that I am letting you into what was going on in my mind, so that then you'll know that what I say next in terms of what I did wrong and how I'm going to change is actually genuine. So like I said, all hell broke loose. You know, somebody commented on my post and they were just like, sis, he's an abuser, he's this, he's this, he's that, delete this. And I don't have the exact tweet because it got deleted. I went to go screenshot it, it's deleted. I don't know, this person must have deleted the tweet. So I responded back with, I said what I said, unfollow me if you have a problem with it. Now, again, I'm going to let you in on my mindset or my mind state at this time. When I saw this tweet from this person, immediately it made me furious, because I'm like, don't ever in your life try to tell me what I can or cannot say. And that sounds very childish. Like, when I say that out loud, it sounds childish, because it is childish, because it's a knee-jerk defense mechanism that I fall into. It's not something that I purposely do. And I'm not saying, oh, I don't have control of myself, but it's not something I purposely do. It's a defense mechanism I've had for a long time. Whenever I feel that someone is trying to challenge my authority, whenever I feel like someone is trying to overpower me, censor me, force me to do something that I don't want to do, it really does bring me back to a dark place. And again, this is not to play on anybody's sympathies or to be like, I'm traumatized, you know, forgive me. No, this is literally, I'm just letting you into my mindset. I don't like when people try to have authority over me. It reminds me of my narcissistic caretaker. This person was a very smothering type of narcissist. Couldn't go anywhere, couldn't even breathe without this person. Like, just, if you've been raised by a narcissist, by one that smothers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They enmesh with you very, very heavily, and it's like you can never be your own person, you can never be your own individual, your thoughts are not yours, you have to watch what you say at all times or you're getting cursed out, like that sort of thing. So that environment that I was raised in, that this has always been my defense mechanism. I get furious when someone is trying to I was going to say this is more of like a trigger than a defense mechanism, but I guess same thing. It's a trigger that leads to a defense mechanism. On social media, I find it to be a very hostile environment. I find that you have to be more defensive, so that possibly played a role in it. But just her comment alone, I was like, y'all better not play with me like this, you know? So I immediately was like, I said what I said, unfollow me. I was really aiming it at whoever thinks that they can come and have that mob mentality and force me to delete whatever I have to say, like, you're gonna think again. So it became an ego battle instead of becoming about what the initial point was. The initial point was that I have a platform dedicated to abuse victims and to healing from abuse. So it makes no logical sense that I would be complimenting a person who has been accused of being an abuser. The whole point of that was lost, though. But in my mind, her point and her intention was to try to censor me and try to bully me into submission like people do on social media. So like I said what I said, and whoever doesn't like it, unfollow me. And of course, people didn't take too kindly to that. You know, people were like, oh, you're just a fraud. Like, how are you going to say that you're a spiritual healer, whatever else, you're just a fraud, blah, blah, blah. And in turn, my defense mechanisms went up even higher. And now my ego is like a brick wall. Like, you're not going to penetrate it. I'm not backing down. I'm not doing it. I have never been a back down type of person, and that got me into a lot of trouble growing up in a abusive family. You're supposed to back down if you want to stay safe, but I've always reacted the opposite way of not backing down. And that's why I'm just really sitting and stopping and analyzing, this defense mechanism, and understanding that sometimes it's not appropriate, and sometimes it can actually do more harm than it does good. After really sitting and unpacking everything and like looking at things from a different perspective, although I'm not sorry that I defended myself, I am sorry for being very insensitive and not understanding that, not everybody that was commenting was trying to harm me. But I'm sure I have genuine supporters who either were, commenting and got hit in the crossfire, or possibly weren't commenting at all and was just kind of observing this and probably was just very, very disappointed. So I'm trying to find a balance between learning how to defend myself, while at the same time remaining humble. Because what I've seen in most human beings, when I say staying humble, I mean like knowing when to say, okay, I was wrong, let me back out of this battle because I was the one in the wrong. Because what I've noticed with most human beings, and maybe it's because of the environment I was raised in, I just feel like most human beings don't respect humility. They don't respect kindness. They don't respect sensitivity. And whenever I'm being a raging bitch, where I'm just like, I don't care about your opinion, F you, it seems to me that people respect me more. It seems to me that people can't get to me when I'm that way. People can't hurt me. People can't shame me. So it works. Like, you know what I'm saying? That works. But at the same time, it doesn't work because, like I said, I have genuine supporters. And if I didn't care about my supporters, I would keep that defense mechanism. But because I do, I know that that's hurtful to them. I can't sit here and say, oh, I figured it out. This is the solution. I haven't figured out the solution completely. But all I can do is just to make sure that I watch my words very closely on social media. And as I grow older anyway, I need to mature and pick and choose my battles and understand that I'm no longer a rebellious teenager living in a narcissistic household. I'm a grown woman now. So a lot of those defense mechanisms need to go. I don't know. I guess that's it. This video, I feel like I hope that it made sense. So to anybody who I disappointed, or anybody who, you got hit in the crossfire while I was like cursing everyone out and telling them to fuck off, I genuinely do apologize. I am extremely, extremely sorry. I didn't take into consideration, like I said, that I could be hurting people who genuinely support me. And I really am sorry that I hurt people in that process. And it really makes me reflect back on times in my life where I may have hurt other people, because I've had this defense mechanism for a very long time. And all I can do is, moving forward, make sure that I think and be more considerate before I tweet anything. Whether or not my intention is good, you still have to kind of think about what's being said, and you still have the ability to really trigger someone and hurt them when it comes to these sorts of things. Like I said before, I know where I fucked up at. I know where I was completely and totally wrong at, and it won't happen again moving forward. I'm just really trying my best and trying my hardest to become a well-rounded, well-balanced human being, and sometimes it's tough, and I don't want anybody to feel sympathy for me or think I'm trying to play off of their sympathies. Just being completely transparent and honest. Now to choose if you want to continue to support me, or if you feel like, girl, you crossed the line, I don't trust you, that wasn't cool, then of course, you have that option as well to not continue, this journey with me. Yes, I think that's it. I'm very apologetic about everything. Just these last couple of days of unpacking this, it's just been a lot of heavy shame and a lot of just realizing things that I really, really, really need to deal with and really need to heal from, so that I won't hurt myself and hurt other people in the process. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.